Brock, am I a bad person?
The hell just happened?
Am I, Brock?
Hello, Space Boys!
Let's talk about The Doctor Is Sin. The episode title is a reference to the old Peanut cartoons, and this is the B-plot of episode 1. While that was all focused on the Monarch, this one's all Rusty, baby. And as per normal, Venture Industries is not in the best of places financially.
We're not really gonna have to sell the compound, are we, Paul?
I don't know, Dean.
Failing to woo the government since their Venture contract.
Yes, General Manhowers. My venture signs could be easily adapted to ground warfare.
So Rusty's getting some help from an unusual source.
Number Killinger. Dr. Henry Killinger.
We also see Jonas Venture Sr.'s cock,
Man's my favorite, but you don't get a prize.
and have Shakespeare quoted at us.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have the exits and the entrances.
So it's an episode with a little something for everyone. Well, a big something for some people. I also love picturing Rusty as a villain. I'm sad we never got more of it. So let me know in the comments, what do you think he would be like as a mad scientist? He's already pushed the bounds of super science before. Cough, orphans, cough.
What the hell is this thing made out of?
Little orphan boy.
It's powered by a forsaken child?
Might be, kind of. I mean, I didn't use the whole thing.
Whilst being a simple and self-contained plot, this episode really fleshes out the lore and world around us. We also see a lot more of the compound, and it finally seems like it has a somewhat sensible design with bits that maybe work well together. And a conference room? The episode starts with Rusty trying to pick up some highly specialized employees on the side of the road.
And I'm gonna need 1 or 2 guys who can do phase plasma spectrum analysis. Any takers?
Which, oddly enough, doesn't work. He is rocking an awesome hat and driving the Avrio Canada VZ9 Avro car, which is this super cool sci-fi UFO looking VTOL engine that just sort of flies around places.
Early flights revealed that some deterioration in stability and control
Didn't end up getting picked up by the US military, though in the Venture universe maybe it did, because it was probably designed by Jonas Sr. himself. We see JJ's V-Pod advert mirroring Apple's old one, so we know he's going to be doing well for himself. Brock and Hank have started doing some light yard work,
That looks like Manosaurus.
while Rusty calls JJ, trying to make him jealous.
I've got a meeting this morning with a certain 4-star general.
But it backfires when Rusty learns JJ has his own Puerto Rican department,
That must have been one of the gals in my PR department.
The Puerto Rican
Hello?
department?
and he's got his own fires to put out with Johnny Quest.
My wife will leave me if I bring him to the house again, but he's like my brother to me.
General Man-Hours arrives at the compound while everyone there arrives at Panic Station.
Oh, green, the eagle has landed.
Triana is playing Doc's receptionist.
I got an appointment.
And you are...
Orpheus goes for a rich European, which he plays quite well.
Grazie, Signora Ventura.
Then it's all up to the family. Dean shows off his awesome hover boot.
I couldn't resist. They've got 1,001 uses around the home, at work, or in combat situations.
Hank is readying up his big gun while everyone else practices lines.
Hey, Pop. Alright, what's next?
The general questions Rusty's projects. The branding on the stealth bomber does come across as a little tacky, I have to agree.
Gotta wonder if I had put a big logo on a stealth plane.
Rusty also says coup de grace wrong, which doesn't surprise me because
The coup de grace.
learning things from that bed, he probably didn't have the greatest education. And just as everything has been going wrong on this tour, Sri Lankan Devil Bird attacks, which
Dr. Ventura, face me if you dare.
Brock quickly sees to. But because the Monarch has quit as Rusty's arch enemy, every Tom, Dick and Skeletor has been trying to get their piece.
Like now I've got every Tom, Dick, and Skeletor out.
And while the General starts to leave, Rusty says he's still got some great stuff.
Wait, that's not all I've got. Look, zero gravity pen.
The General starts to leave, explaining to Rusty that he has some great stuff, but it's all the same stuff that was here when his dad was still inventing.
A lot of it's the same impressive stuff I saw back when your dad was running the show.
The bit he's most impressed with is an old Fruitopia drink,
And for the Fruitopia, can't remember the last time I had one of those.
because it's old. And they just don't make things like that anymore because it was probably full of some chemicals that the FDA doesn't allow now. In a last-ditch attempt, Rusty tries to win him back with sneakies.
I call them Sneakies.
Your reverse shoes. It of course doesn't work. And then he throws a shoe at Hank. I mean, come on. Who throws a shoe?
In the dough.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Enter Killinger.
I am Dr. Henry Killinger.
He works for free, so Rusty hires the evil Mary Poppins instantly.
I don't know if I can
I
afford.
work pro bono.
Great. When can you start?
He comes with a free team of Venchmen,
I call them the Venchmen.
manufacturing wings online, and he is great with kids. What's not to love?
Kind of magic man.
No, you are the magic man.
Wow.
Well, maybe how he treats the unions.
He's my magic murder bag. Well, gentlemen, we have a deal on the table. What do you say?
Very poorly. He's hostile takeover of conjectural technologies.
Noticed a hostile takeover.
Of course, White wanted to buy a Wii.
I
I can't
issued some
blame
shares
him.
back when we needed cash for the Nintendo Wii.
What?
The Wii was amazing, and Billy's won over because White's drawn him as an animal, and I don't have time to talk about the implications that gives us.
Is this supposed to be me?
As a griffin, yeah.
Killinger even has the nerve to evict the local necromancer,
Eviction? But I'm not in arrears.
to which Orpheus senses something is amiss. But of course, the silly Billy isn't able to read Killinger's mind.
Your powers are useless on me, you silly Billy.
And him and Triana go and stay with Al for a little bit.
Sharing a bed with this guy's like sleeping with a 10-speed bike.
You too?
So the next stage of the process is therapy. Doc must enter the bag, and we get yet another
Now get into the bag.
and we get yet another Star Wars nod.
What's in it?
Only what you take with you.
Rusty is teleported back into his past.
This is my old kitchen.
Alpha Dog cereal on the table,
Hey! Remember.
and then boom. The first moment of his inadequacies, Jonas Venture Sr.'s Alpha Dog.
Thing is, you've got to get a good breakfast, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
This show has so many dicks in it. I think there are 2 full dicks in this episode alone. But Rusty manages to face his fears and learns to save himself. Jonas may have been an absolute wanker, but he does look cool riding a dinosaur with a turbo lance from some sci-fi universe.
Hold tight, Rusty. I'll have you have this in a jiff.
And I think Killinger's onto something. Rusty must vanquish Stinking Thinking.
Fear, self-loathing, stinking thinking, and dilly-dallying. Free yourself and destroy this temple of failure.
If he ever wants to excel in life. And that probably goes for a lot of people in the real world. But he does it. He kills the golden version of his... So he does it. He kills the golden version of his father.
Be free.
But who is this stealing his reward? His own creepy brother.
Who is this tiny little man? Why is he stealing your birthright?
Brock comes to Orpheus' new digs. He's bored at work.
Oh, Mr. Sampson.
Triana and Al seem to have been bonding well at least. And Orpheus still won't let her drink, as Brock explains that Killinger has been improving the place.
Killinger guy got rid of all those costume schmoes who kept bugging us, so
Much to the behest of Orpheus. He's managed to help Brock with his taxes.
now I could write it all off. So now I'm getting way more back from the IRS.
And we get a cute little montage of the boys and Killinger. I love the music. I love that Killinger is almost helping the boys.
Which I gotta credit to Killinger's tutoring.
So, what did we learn?
I'm sure some of the lessons he taught Hank will stick with him,
This man stole from your father. Teach him the meaning of loyalty.
but I don't know how much a temporary evil nanny is going to help in the long runs. Killinger just has the time for everyone, to help everyone, and he's well educated.
But he says that he's got a PhD in child psychology.
Though Orpheus is definitely not a fan, as we cut back to Rusty dressed as Lex Luthor
Snug. But there's room.
to complete his supervillain transformation. Even looks kind of cool, unlike some of Killinger's other clientele.
Richard Nixon said the same thing when I gave him his first power tie.
What even is a power tie? Killinger is the proud papa.
I become the proud papa.
On the other side of the compound, Brock and the Order of the Triad have launched a sneak attack. Using magic to dodge the cameras, they're able to slide their way in.
Magic cloak of concealment!
Killinger has recorded this secret and he's playing it to the boys in their learning beds.
Visualize the things you want in your mind's eye. If they belong to someone else, take them.
Al is armoring up, ready for their final assault.
I'm very excited about this plan.
Wait till I wish I had a gun that big. Killinger takes some of Rusty's blood for their Faustian deal.
Ow! I thought I gave you power of attorney so I wouldn't have to be bothered with this kind of crap.
Arching rights on his brother. Cain and Abel story.
My brother?
Bingo.
Then it finally dawns on Rusty. He can't have his brother arching him. He's the one dressed as a supervillain.
But he can't arch me. He's not even a super... Oh my god.
I think I would love to see this alternate universe where Rusty became a supervillain. He doesn't have a very high moral standard, and he's not too bad at making evil inventions. The door is jammed and...
A fiend! It's as if he's cast a spell of binding on the machine.
Al's cannon won't fire.
I swear, this has never happened to me.
Brock eventually manages to kick the door in. And the collection of Adventuremen convene on their location.
Frenchman!
And gently squeeze past. And a very naked Rusty confides in Brock.
Brock, am I a bad person?
The hell just happened?
Am I, Brock?
While he does fire Killinger, much to the boys' dismay.
Uncle Henry's gone?
No! And while the actions he's taken in this episode, making that black and white choice into signing a bit of paper that says you're a supervillain, Rusty's not gone that far. He does still have a lot of very questionable inventions and choices he's made in the past. But he doesn't listen to laws, his conscience, or morality. He does get better throughout the show. We haven't seen any more killing dogs, death rays, or orphans parts since season 1.
I've simply removed all of his skin.
And the stinger before the credits is a lovely Shakespearean quote.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
As Lion King Killinger gives us the Bible.
His acts being 7 ages.
You said it, killer! And you can read more about it in the Bible.
And our after credits scene is Rusty trying to get his life back together, going through old letters and bills.
Bill, final notice.
Finding a package from a supervillain that contains a live snake. Or it did contain a live snake 5 years ago when it was sent. It's a package from the Monarch that is now so dried up it basically desiccated. And at this point in the season we're just itching to find out who Rusty's new supervillain's going to be. And we'll find out next time, so I'll catch you then.
It's time to say I'll be the same. Goodbye.
Boy, do I wish I had a cannon that big. Boy, do I wish I had a cannon that big.